Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Today we have an interesting video. So on Twitter, I asked you guys to name me your best football hot takes, and I'm gonna react to them. We have 49 hot takes to react to, or at least 49 comments, and let's see. I'll be going through every single comment, of course, in this video. So stay tuned. So here it is. First one from White Wolf. Haaland isn't that good without amazing midfield. He can't even beat a man. Never shows up in a big game. Always scoring 1v1 against goalkeeper. Tappin. His biggest achievement is getting compared to Kylian Mbappe. Well, Haaland was really good at Borussia Dortmund. Finished once as the Champions League top scorer and was really good at Dortmund. I think he had like 30 goals, 40 goal season there without an amazing midfield. So that argument is gone. He can't even beat a man. Yeah, I mean, his dribbling's dead. We obviously know that, but he can beat a man physically, which is a good thing. Never shows up in a big game. Yeah, I could consider that very true. Always score 1v1 against goalkeeper tap in. That's his job. That's his job. It's not a bad thing. His biggest achievement. No, I would say Haaland is a really good player. Obviously, I think Kylian Mbappe is a better player, but most of what you said is wrong. Muller has a better career than Neymar. I mean, I don't like these better career stuff. You can say he has more trophies, sure, better catalog of trophies. I mean, he has what, two Champions League. He has, I think, two Champions League finals as well that he lost previously. He obviously has the World Cup, so catalog trophy wise, sure. In that sense, what, Dani Alves better than Ronaldo or something? Nacho Fernandez better than Neymar? Like, sure, sure. But I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Muller. Who do you think people remember in 10 seasons? Is it Neymar or Muller? Messi's overrated. I mean, I don't think Messi can ever be overrated because he's literally done everything better than Neymar. As a player, talent wise, definitely not. Career wise, definitely not. I mean, Neymar has never been benched for being bad. Bale was benched for, I don't know, his last 3-4 seasons at Real Madrid. Zidane benched him. And sure, it was a lot due to attitude, but also his performances. So, and Isco benched Bale. So, obviously not. Obviously not. I definitely disagree with this hot take. It has nothing to do with Neymar being a Paris Saint-Germain player. Antony is actually a really good player, but he's overrated because of his price tag. Yeah, I mean, obviously, every player that goes for, like, Antony was never worth 100 million. It was just Ajax. They did not want to sell, and they knew United is a stupid club. The same, similar a bit with Casemiro, that United overpaid a lot for the player, and yeah, yeah, and I think Antony is a good player. He would cost in a good market around 50 million. Cristiano is better than Harry Kane. Is that a hot take? I don't think so. Rodrigo better than Vinicius in terms of talent. I think I will agree. I think Rodrigo is one of the most talented football players in the world. So yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Prime Neymar is mechanically and as a player better than Ronaldo ever was. I would agree with that. The two best players I've seen is Lionel Andres Messi and Neymar Jr. So I think I would agree with that one. Erling Haaland will break every record possible. Um, I mean, the big record that if Haaland breaks it, it would be big stuff. Is obviously the Lionel Messi 91 goals in a season. So if Haaland does that, that's the record you should be aiming for. But I don't know, with his injury proneness, I don't know if he can become the top goal scorer of all time. Obviously, he's already scoring a lot of goals with Norway. I mean, goal scoring records, he has a huge chance of breaking pretty much every single one. So let's see what happens. Let's see. His goal scoring as well at the age within the Champions League is also amazing. If Dembele was an injury prone, he would have been in conversation with Mbappe and Haaland. Um, Listen, talent wise, sure, he would be among the best from his generation. But the issue for me with Osman Dembele is his attitude. Like, sure, he has his injuries, but he also has his attitudes. With an attitude is even a bigger stumbling block than injuries. I mean, we have seen Neymar getting injured and injured and injured, obviously at a different stage in his career, but he always comes back better and stronger. Whilst Dembele, I think his injuries with his attitudes, it's what has dragged down his value. So not completely true. Ronaldo isn't a GOAT candidate. Offside goals in Champions League makes him relevant. Um, I mean, I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo is a top 10 player of all time. So I agree he's not in the GOAT candidate, but he's done much more stuff than scoring offside goals in the Champions League. Like, he has the most goals in the Champions League final, and none of them were offside. 2022-23 Asensio, 17-18 Asensio. I mean, I don't watch Real Madrid that much. 17 Asensio. I mean, obviously he had those amazing long shots against Sevilla in the UEFA Super Cup, against Barca, both in the Super Cup as well. Um, I haven't seen Asensio this season that much, so I really don't know and couldn't care. Mid player. 2015 Neymar and Ronaldo. I mean, you can just go for 2017 Neymar, the best Neymar there's ever been. 17-18 Neymar, better than Ronaldo, yeah. 2015 Neymar, sure. If Dembele had been coached by Pep, he would have outperformed everyone. That's the thing. As I said before, with the attitude, I don't think Pep would ever want to coach Osman Dembele because he has very bad attitude. He doesn't like players like this. Gavi is overhated considering at his age players like Cruz and Casemiro were even playing his first division football. Yeah, I would definitely say that the hatred and negative thoughts towards Gavi, it's a little bit too much, especially from the Real Madrid fan base. Obviously, they want someone they can hate on and disrespect and all of that. And Gavi, it's not like he makes it hard for anyone to hate it. He obviously plays as someone the opposition would hate, but he also plays as someone, if you support the team he plays for, you love him. So I definitely agree the stuff, it's a bit too much, but I mean, that's what it gets when you are a Barca player or a PSG or Real Madrid player. Like, all the eyes are on you, and as I said, Gavi does not make himself into a lovable player, but I respect him a lot. I think that grinta in him is his best characteristic. Militao is the best centre back in the world. I disagree with that. I don't think Militao as a defender is any good. I've yeah, so sure he had that performance versus Liverpool in Champions League final, but I mean the thing is everything is so mid nowadays. Any position, like if you look back in the days, you had as centre backs you had Chiellini, Bonucci, Barzagli, Thiago Silva, Ramos, Vidic, Ferdi, like the list goes on, and now you're looking at what Araujo, Militao, Upamecano, just mid on mid on mid. Um, but no, I don't think he's the best centre back in the world. Suarez without his prime. I mean, that's why. I mean, Suarez. No, no. I think Suarez has more than just his prime. But Suarez, what? He had 7 seasons of elite world class because he stayed in Eredivisie too long, and well, his qualities went down really quick. I mean, we can see Benzema doing it at his age. We saw Ibra doing it at that age. We see Lewandowski. I mean, Lewandowski may be going down now because he's been very shit this year. And even in the beginning of the season, I didn't rate his goals versus Girona and all of these games. But no, I think he has more than his prime, but I do think his career is overrated, especially he stayed in the Eredivisie like until the age of 23 or 24. Neuer is the best goalkeeper of all time. I mean, I can only talk about my generation. We can't compare him to Leviashin or the Italian goalkeeper. I don't remember his name. But from what I've seen, I think Prime Neuer from like 2011 to 2014 is the best goalkeeper I've seen. I think Casillas has a better has done it in a longer period. Same with Buffon because Neuer has had many ups and downs. So career-wise, I don't know about that. But Prime, what I've seen, yes. I think Prime-wise, Manuel Neuer is the best goalkeeper I've seen. Messi's the worst attacker PSG ever had in terms of showing up when it matters. Obviously, Lionel Messi, in the knockout stages, he has a very big stat. 0 goals and assists in 4 knockout games, playing every single minute, whilst Neymar and Mbappe both have 2 goal contributions each. But no, there have been many worse attackers, Paris Saint-Germain in big games. I mean, Lavezzi didn't do that great. Lucas Moura, I mean, even big man Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I mean, he did it in the big games in Liga and in group stages and so on, but knockout stages, it was a bit iffy. So no, you just sound like an ignorant Messi hater. Sergio Ramos is as good as Marquinhos. Marquinhos levels has significantly dropped. Um, I would say ever since we have signed Ramos, I could agree that they have been pretty much on the same level because Marquinhos started dipping in that season. And yeah, Ramos has always been that player because Marquinhos has gone through confidence issues ever since that Real Madrid game, and even before that, his decline started to go in pretty much in the beginning of the 2022 calendar year. But he looks to be back, and Sergio Ramos has been performing really well for us. Obviously, he's had some iffy games, especially when playing as a wide centre back or a centre back in a two-man centre back. But at the moment, he looks great. Let's see what happens. Bale is greatest British player of all time. I mean, I think that's one of the corruptest football takes I ever seen. Bale is overrated. Sure, I'm not taking away what he did in the Champions League final. Obviously, scored versus Atletico Madrid. Obviously, scored a brace versus Liverpool with one amazing bicycle kick. But in terms of what he has done, what he did, no, one, two, three, four moments does not make you the best British player of all time. Definitely not. I think Wayne Rooney, David Beckham, Gary Lineker, all of these, George Best, all of these players are ahead of him. I think Bailey is a very overrated player because he had top moments, but just career wise, no. As I said, he was benched by Isco. Yeah, I don't rate him. And PayPal should stay at PSG. If Mbappe uses his power better and stops talking shit about Paris Saint-Germain, he's welcome to stay, in my opinion. Saudi League is more. I'm not even gonna look at those football takes. Mbappe turned his career as the second greatest player of all time. I mean, when you say greatest, you're obviously talking about legacy, no, so not individual ability. And legacy-wise, I mean, he already has the World Cup. But what? He's 24 years of age, no Golden Boot, no Champions League, no FIFA the best, no Ballon d'Or. So he really has to start stacking it up. Obviously, I'm not putting it against him, but he's making it harder for himself. Messi, look, Prime Bale was better. Again, most of these people are Real Madrid fans, and as I said, Gareth Bale, great player but overrated. Yo, this guy, man. Messi's holding PSG. Without him, even the league is far from PSG's roots. Next year, you want to see. Sure, Messi hasn't performed in many games, especially after the World Cup this season, but that goes for every other single Paris Saint-Germain player. So I would say the team, everyone is holding us back, including the manager, including Luis Campos. Everyone at PSG is accountable. No one. There's no scapegoat. Mbappe will never be in the top 5 goals of all time, maybe not even 10. As I said, how I consider my GOAT debate is of individual talent, ability. So Mbappe would never be in mine. But if we're talking legacy-wise, obviously that can happen. If he, I don't know, breaks the goal scoring record, breaks the assist record, gets a couple of Champions Leagues, gets some Ballon d'Ors, FIFA the best, maybe even a World Cup, maybe some Euros as well. He would obviously be legacy-wise in the top 10, top 5. Kroos is the most underappreciated midfielder in our generation. He's easily in top 5 alongside Modric, Iniesta, Xavi, and Ozil. Again, talent-wise, yeah, I would put him maybe top 7. Yeah, I think top 7 maybe. Muller had a better career. Again, it's the same take as the one previously I answered, and my answer to it, if you're talking goals catalog and all of that, sure, but what he's done on the pitch, no. Neymar clears him. If Haaland leaves Man City, he wouldn't perform well. I mean, he obviously performed well at Dortmund, not as good as he's performing now at City, but he's a great player, and a great player performs everywhere, so I don't think so. I think he will perform everywhere. Neymar is a PSG flop. I would not say Neymar Jr. is a PSG flop because by that standard, Mbappe is a flop. Pretty much every PSG player is a flop then because your guys' expectations is them winning a Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. So I would definitely not call Neymar a junior Paris Saint-Germain flop. But has he met the expectations? No. I would put him in the middle because the injuries have made it harder for him. But It's no excuse. I wouldn't call him a flop. I wouldn't call him a total success. I would put him in the middle. Verratti is a bigger PSG legend. Mbappe, yeah, 100%, obviously. Thomas Müller is a bigger football legend than Neymar. Again, third time I'm hearing this. No, he's not. When both retire, I don't think I will ever hear Thomas Müller's name again. Never. Great team player, though. Nuno Mendes is the best left back in the world. Obviously, 100%, I think so. I think the top four left backs in the world, not in order, is Nuno Mendes, Theo Hernandez, Alfonso Davies, and Balde at Barcelona. But Nuno tops them. Mbappe will not become a future GOAT. He will become an average. I mean, the opinion of saying he won't become the future GOAT, I mean, that's not hard to understand. By saying he will become an average player after 5, 6 years is very it's a very bad take. It's a very bad take. Neymar is actually a fraud. He's too good looking. That makes you forget he's a bottler when you need him. Trust me, he worked with me multiple times. Um, Neymar a bottler when you need him the most. I I don't know. I mean, at Barca when they needed him the most, in most times he did great stuff. In Paris Saint-Germain, obviously, if you count in the injuries, sure, but when he was on the pitch, uh, yeah, it took us to a Champions League final with incredible performances and goals and assists. So no, he's a really great big game player. Nottingham Mbappe owning Barca. How is Thiago Silva is the second best defender of our? No, I would actually say he's the best defender of our. I think Ramos maybe is a better player, but I think Thiago Silva, defending wise, defending ability, I think he's the best defender. I mean, people want to mention Piqué, which is absolutely laughable. A player that got what was cooked at the age of 32, comparable to Thiago Silva, who's still doing it at Chelsea at the age of 37, I believe. So no, I think Thiago Silva is the best centre back of our generation. Big one here. I think this is no. Fabinho was never good. I agree. VVD has been average since 1920. I agree. Modric better than Xavi Iniesta. I don't know. Maradona isn't top 10 of all time. He is. Most English channels, talents, Mountain, Black Oxidation. Dub. Spurs will be an average meticulous. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. PSG Messi produced too much of a catalog of great football playmaking since go a flop. Yeah, no one said he's a flop. Benzema for the first season I would call him a flop, but he rescued it in this season. Benzema owns PSG. No, he doesn't. Piqué is a fraud. Cook. Only the number 10 position should be allowed to win Ballon d'Ors, considering how they are always involved in the game and most important. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you are a football player or an upcoming football player, you know that the hardest position to play is the number 10. So, but obviously, maybe in some periods, in some seasons, a number 10 is not performing at the rate, and maybe a number 9 is performing better. So I still think that it should be more open, but obviously, the number 10 should be looked at a bit more. Di Maria is better than Salah and Robin. Yes. Prime Ozil was better playmaker than Messi. Oh, I mean, if we take Prime for Prime, sure, but Ozil couldn't do it for a long time. But Prime, yeah, I agree with that. PG is not only a club, but also. Wow, you had to. As a Barca fan, I think Gavi is not that good and fucking stupid most of the time. I mean, talent-wise, he's not, that big. But you always want players who fight for the bench as him, and he will obviously have bad games. He will obviously have good games. I remember in the Super Copa versus Real Madrid, he was amazing in that game. So you're just going through a hard period. Every player goes through a hard period, and I would say just support him in the meantime. But yeah, beautiful people. That was it for the hot takes. Hopefully, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the PSGINT YouTube channel, and as always, allez, allez, allez Paris.